And some things last forever, like 500 Stones episode 2. We got David Jimenez here, then we're gonna talk about songs. I wasn't sure what song to do, and then when I grabbed the guitar, I'm like, yeah, we're doing this one.
Honestly, that may be your best work to date so far.
You see that every time, though. You're like a you're like a wife that's like, oh, this was the best night ever. It's like every night's the best night ever.
You've never been better in your life. I missed like half of the song, but you've never been better.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It's episode 2 of Off the Stones, the series where we look back at the songs that used to be on the top 500 Rolling Stone songs and are no longer here. Are they for good reason, or did we mess up as a society? Brooklyn, I think our first episode went pretty well.
Our first episode was a very fun time. It was nice to kind of like have that different perspective of like why those songs kind of came off the list, and then you kind of saw where the writers at the time were kind of drawing the line as to what was good and what wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still questioning why that one MGMT song was even on the list at all. But yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. Now we're into the second grouping of these songs, and we have a special guest today. It's his first time on a regular episode. It's David Jimenez. How's it going, David?
Hello, everyone. So good, you know. Life is nice, I think, and these songs some of them are nice too. So I said, why not? Let's give this a try, and yeah, it's exciting. Hello, everyone.
You emphasized some of them, so I can't wait to find out which ones didn't make the cut for you.
There's not a lot of them, but you know.
But there's some. Okay, juicy details.
Yeah.
Let's start, and we're going to start with the song that was at number 459 on the 2010 list, Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. David, as our special guest, I'm going to let you get your thoughts on this song out first.
Oh, well, gee, thank you very much. What about Guns N' Roses? You know, the thing with them is that I honestly particularly like some of their songs, but not like them a lot as a whole thing. You know, like I've never heard a full Guns N' Roses album that it's not the first one, you know. And yeah, of course, kind of classic, you know. And of course, Paradise City is in there. And I gotta say, out of the singles that the album dropped, I think this is one of the ones that I like the most. You know, it's kind of like jammy, it's catchy, kind of long too. You know, I think it could have been a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit shorter, but it is a catchy tune. In my opinion, you know, kind of watching the new list and the Guns N' Roses songs that made the cut on the new one, I think I would prefer this one over Welcome to the Jungle, honestly, if it were up to me. But I understand that Welcome to the Jungle has a more kind of like iconic classic status. So come again? Okay, yeah. I think I would prefer this song over Welcome to the Jungle if it were up to me to decide the places in the list.
You got you, Mr. Producer, man. You really did.
I think I'm alone on that one, but you know, that's just my personal thing, and yeah, it's just a fun song.
I don't know. I saw Brooklyn nodding his head a lot as you were talking. So, what are your thoughts, Brooklyn?
No, I would agree with David. Paradise City is better than Sweet Child of Mine. I like the intro in this. This is actually like one of the few Guns N' Roses songs where Duff McKagan really stands out, like with the drum work and stuff. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so yeah, this is gonna obviously with this show we're not having that like facade or that character of like we don't know the list. We obviously know the list. This is gonna be. But yeah, this is gonna be a recurring theme of where we talk about bands where the backing groups are great, but the lead singer is trash.
Okay. It sounds like you're ending it there. out of all of the Guns N' Roses songs that we have covered on this series or the previous series, the three of them, this is my third favorite. I am I am on the complete opposite end of the spectrum here. I like this song still. I mean, I still think that it's good, but it's super repetitive in some points. It is too long. I think if you chopped off like a minute and a half, it would probably stick a little bit better for me. I just I think that the other two songs are just they stick with you more. The melodies are just a little bit catchier. They like hit your ear for a little bit better for some reason. But I'm alone on this one, so I'm outnumbered. So
Weirdly.
yeah, weirdly.
Hey guys, one of us is alone on a music take. Nobody cares. We all go through that.
Oh my god. Okay. So moving on. I see we have picked a side today, Mr. Producer Man.
Yeah.
I'll have
Producer
fun
Man only has one side, and that is the side of the producer man.
This is fair. This is fair. All right, moving on to the song that was literally a spot above it, number 458, Cupid by Sam Cooke. Brooklyn, how about you start us off with this one?
This fits into the theme of like great opening lines. Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow flow. I think this has like a nice kind of introduction. In terms of this one coming off the list, I was really shocked because I feel like this one has a lot of staying power. It hasn't aged a lot. I'm quite surprised that quite surprised that this is off.
I'm not quite as surprised as much as I am a little disappointed. I think that this would have been actually a really good spot for this song on the updated list. Sam Cooke is just like has one of the greatest voices I've ever heard in my life. Like the soul and passion that just oozed out of this man's vocal cords like goddamn brown butter. Was it just incredible. Plus the melody is catchy, the instrumentation is super tight, and the production is warm, it's luscious, it's engaging, it's warm. It's just a beautiful sounding song of just like being in love with someone and just like wanting them to love you back. It's something that a lot of people can relate to, and the lyrics are just simple. They're straightforward, but they're effective, and I love that when that happens. But David, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think I agree on whatever all of the things that you're saying. Actually, honestly, I've never, prior to like a week ago, I've never heard a single song of Sam Cooke. So this is like weird to me. Yeah, sorry for that, if that's kind of shocking. But I heard this one, and I heard the one that actually made the newer list, and it makes sense that they choose the other one. You know, like if they had to pick one, it makes sense that they choose "Change Is Gonna Come." I think it's called. But this one is actually very sweet. I really liked it. What you say? The lyrics are just like on point, like really, really just. I love when older songs were just like so simple and bare, and they tell like everything just so simply, but so beautifully, so poetically. And this song does it. And yeah, as you said, the voice of this man is just so amazing that it complements everything. So yeah, definitely a good addition. Again, as you said, I think I understand why it didn't make the cut in the newer one, but still, I think it's a really good love song. I think a couple of listens more, and it's gonna grow a lot on me.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. I feel like if I hear this song a few more times, it might make my actual 500 list.
Totally.
But let's see if number 457 would have done that as well. And that's The Twist by Chubby Checker. Formerly the most popular song of all time in America. According to the Billboard charts, at least. recently taken over by Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, but I think that it's a testament for how long that this song held that spot. Because this song, to steal what younger people say, is a bop. I love this song so much. I actually
Or a
used
twist.
or,
Sorry, I'm not gonna do that again. I promise.
no, please keep doing it. I actually used to pass by Chubby Checker's house on my way to middle school. And I was like, "Who's Chubby Checker?" And I listened to the song when I was young, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And I listened to it again today, and yeah, it still holds up. The energy behind this song is just absolutely infectious. Chubby Checker has like this really unique voice where it's kind of nasally, but it's also in the back of the throat. And it's just really, really unique. And it's a simple dance song, and it knows it's a simple dance song. It's not really trying to do anything, more than that, and it's doing it real well. I'm a little shocked that this one fell off, but I mean, I guess I can see it, but just knowing the history and the importance around this song, a little surprised. But David, what are your thoughts on this song? Do you get up and do the twist?
I definitely get up and do the twist.
Yeah.
With this song, it's great. I'm gonna sound, I don't know, maybe it's a thing of my generation, but the first time I heard this song in my life, it was on that weird cooking dance sequence in Spider-Man 3. And I'm not gonna regret saying that out loud, because if you remember it, it appeared on that song, and it's like, oh, that's a funny song, and it kind of like stick on the back of my head for I don't know how many years since then, and then I see it in the list, and it's like, oh, it's that song, and I yeah, it's really just a fun. This is kind of like the definition of dancey rock and roll from like early '60s, and I didn't knew that it was like the most famous song of all time, like for Americans at least, according to Billboard. But yeah.
No, sorry to interrupt. Finish your thought, and then I'll kind of
It's
go
okay.
into the history of that.
Well, I didn't knew that, but it kind of makes sense. It's just like a very simple, easy-minded dance song that incites you to do the twist and nothing else. So I think it's actually really nice. And knowing now that it was really popular and it really stood for that long of a time, I think it's actually kind of shocking that it didn't make at least the 500 spot. Like a mere acknowledgement of the song or something. Yeah.
So real quick, Brooklyn, before we get into you, because I know that you're chomping at the bits to talk about the twist. So what happened was that this song was a huge smash among young people when it first came out. They were like, it would like to be the one album that they would throw on at like literally every party. It was questioned on the radio constantly. So it was a huge #1 hit for like a good chunk of time. Then it fell off the charts. And then a couple years later, it re-hit #1 on the charts because of adults. Adults started buying this song and falling in love with this song and requesting this song on the radio after the kids had already gotten sick of it. So it's a wild story of how this song became like the most popular song of all time in the country for like decades. But Brooklyn, as a Canadian, does it affect you?
Yeah, it does. It's like we take a lot of American culture and just kind of make it our own. When David, when you were talking about like the first time you heard the song, my mind instantly went to the evolution of dance, which is like if you remember the long time of 2007, that was like one of the first YouTube videos to ever like become popular. And like, yeah, this is similar to like those try not to bop your head challenges. Like throw on this song and try not to dance to it. Like it has that catchy feel. It has that classic blues riff. Andrew, you were talking about the lead vocalist. I think the backup vocals do a really good job on this too. I'm kind of just filling out the rest of the sound. And like a lot of these songs on this time, drummer is doing a ton of work, kind of pushing that beat and just creating that energy.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up because I completely forgot to even mention that. Good move, Brooklyn.
Yeah, good reference.
All right, let's move on to number 455. Not as great of a time as the twist, but Heroin by the Velvet Underground.
Complete mood changing here.
Yeah.
It's like watching Singing in the Rain and then going, you know what I want to watch right now? Requiem for a Dream.
Dream. Exactly.
I'll start with this one. It's hard because it's a really great piece. Like from a technical standpoint, from an artistic standpoint, it's incredible. The way that the instrumentation and the tempo fluctuates for like the first couple minutes of the song, and then slowly this distortion starts to creep in and just build and build and build. I instantly understood on first listen what they were going for, and it is super effective. And Lou Reed just has one of those voices where like it's so filled with emotion that it really takes like complete control of the room. But it's a hard song to talk about for me. Brooklyn, how about you?
Yeah, I love Heroin, the song. Yeah, I think, and
we're gonna get so bad
in the Earth 838, which I guess is now the like the Bizarro Earth. This song takes over Comfortably Numb's spot as like the best psychedelic rock song. I think it doesn't have that same kind of casual grab. Like, I agree with you, Andrew. The productionness and the arrangement is really good, and it's spot on for the name of the song. But yeah, it's not one that like people are going to like go back to, but when it comes on, it's like, yeah, this is fucking great. I love all the little details that are in there, kind of like how there's like this drum in the back that's kind of like slowly off beat, and then you're talking about the distortion and just how it builds that tension. And yeah, great one. I understand why it came off the list, probably for just the name, like the name of the song and kind of the subject matter, but yeah, it's like I hadn't heard this song before this list, but great fucking song.
And David, what are your thoughts on this really hard to talk about depressing song?
Yeah, turns out I love Heroin too.
Son of a bitch, we're gonna get so bad.
This is so messed up because double yikes. Yeah, that's true. This is gonna be hard because we cannot touch the song like lyrically because we're gonna get a big high bump by the creator content market.
So, especially by Lou Reed. He will come down hard as soon as he finds out that we're
talking about this. He's gonna get out of the grave. But anyways, I actually, it's understandable why they took it down, the controversial matters, and they decided to put like some other, let's say, simpler songs by this group, because if you have a list of the 500 best songs of all time, you need to put the Velvet Underground. Like, that's, I don't say it, it's like a rule of life. But I actually kind of don't understand why they took it based purely on musical expertise and especially how goddamn influential this song is, because from this song you can basically pinpoint not only just like the most deepest darkest roots of psychedelic rock, but also things like the early new wave scene, no wave, I don't know, shoegaze, even kind of some aspects of dream pop. Like, I have a theory that the three most important albums on pop music are Sgt. Pepper's, Pet Sounds, and this one. And this one takes it directly into the every single underground genre that exists is because of this record. And I think especially this song, because like the construction, the sound, the noise, the distortion, that little break at the end where like everything just loses control is like one of the greatest musical moments I think ever. So I really love this song. And I wish that they would include it, because of pure, just on the merits of how influential it actually is. But yeah, controversial stuff, So yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit difficult.
I think that you brought up a really good point about the influence of this song. You cannot look me dead in the eyes and tell me that the Flaming Lips were not heavily influenced by
Totally.
this song. You said that, and then my head immediately went, "Oh my god!" I think, yeah. But let's move on to something a little bit lighter, just a smidge.
Just a little bit.
I got you, babe. By Sonny and Cher. David, I'm actually going to have you start us off with this one.
Okay, there you go.
Uh-oh.
This song is nice. I think I don't think about it like one of my favorites, and I actually think it's really weird that they took it out of the list because I think it's like really iconic to like a lot of people. So and when everyone talk about Sonny and Cher, I immediately think of this song. I think that's the kind of like the first thing I do, and all of the covers they did of Ike and Tina Turner, But particularly,
I didn't even know about that, to be honest with you.
But this particular song pops out, and it's like, yeah, it's cool, it's nice. Maybe not my favorite, maybe not my cup of tea, and I definitely kind of prefer like Cher's later work in some way, But this is kind of like the jangly poppy sounds of the late 60s, like the Zombies and the Mamas and the Papas, and I think it fits really well in that scene. And definitely not my favorite song from that period, but I think it's nice, and then I am pretty shocked that they didn't include it in newer versions of the list.
Brooklyn, what about you?
Yeah, I think the lyricism of this song kind of holds up. It's like very, very sappy, kind of like Puppy Dog Love, and I think that style is kind of stuck around, especially when you think about like 2010s folk, with like Home and like Ho Hey and like little Lion Man is kind of, or not really in that same sense, but like that sensibility is still there. I'm surprised that Sonny and Cher worked as well as they did, considering how close they are vocally. Like Sonny has a higher range for a male, and Cher is really low for a female. And then, yeah, I agree with David as well, where like her later stuff is probably better, but this is also really good. I mean, like Groundhog Day probably helped this a bit.
Yes.
But yeah, I like the kind of tension that they build in the chorus, and then it lets go, and you hear the horns, and then it's just like, oh, I got you, babe. And it's kind of a fun little like way to kind of give that message of like, in all of this madness, we have each other.
Yeah, it's a sweet song. It's like the chewiest of bubblegum pop for its time. I wouldn't put it on the list proper, but I get it. It is it's catchy. It is very sincere. But the real star of this song, in my opinion, and someone correct me if I'm using the wrong instrument, but it's that freaking oboe. That oboe is the star of this song. It is the thing that I remember literally anytime anyone brings this song up, all I hear is dun 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 dun. And I'm gonna stop there because of copyright bots. But yeah, I like this song a lot. I mean, Cher from the 80s to like the mid 90s, like that's your Cher. But I get why it was on here originally. But moving on to one spot above it last time is I Shot the Sheriff by Bob Marley and the Wailers. Once again, wild whiplash. So, Brooklyn, I'm going to have you start us off with this one, actually.
Okay, I'm gonna grab some cover. I'm gonna grab this box. The Derek and Domino's version is better. It's
What the hell?
I
Wow,
don't know
that's
if it was the live. I don't know if it was this live version in particular. It's good. It's good, but I think this song got done better. And the Bob Marley songs that were on the list are there. And if we had to take one off, this is like it sucks, but it's the one that you take off.
I mean, I agree with you that out of all the ones that we've covered so far, this is the one that you take off. But I don't know about what you just said. So I'll let you live in peace. I'll let you live today.
For now.
Yeah. Thank you. But I really like this song. It builds tension really well. And for like reggae, you don't really think about tension. Tension's not what you think when you think reggae music, but this one does it super well. From the way that Bob Marley delivers his vocals to the lyrics, like especially like when he names the sheriff in the song, it creates more of the world, and I think that was such a brilliant move. But once again, I kind of agree that the other Bob Marley songs that we have covered before are better than this. But I think that this is a brilliant piece personally. But what about David? What do you think about this? Do you agree with Brooklyn?
I understand him and I
Okay.
respect him,
Okay.
but I don't know if I completely agree with what he's saying. By the way, another like super great lyrical content that we can discuss openly, right? With no fear of repercussions.
Why? There are so many subjects that it doesn't cover.
Yeah, of course, right? Um, I mean, what Eric Clapton did with this song is that it just made it its own. Like it changed its style. It kind of like made it its own different thing, and it's cool. I mean, it's nice. But yeah, really, really, what Bob and the Wailers did in this is just like iconic status. I think it's one of its most iconic pieces, and I don't know if I mean, I would find a way if it were up to me to put this into the list over, let's say, Could You Be Loved? I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's a hot take.
Okay, I'm taking over right now. No, sir, no. Could You Be Loved is arguably Bob Marley's best song.
It is his best song.
So.
Well, okay, so we're getting tight there. Sorry.
No. Now that I'm thinking about it, No Woman, No Cry is still its best.
That I can understand.
Yeah.
Let's move on though before I start breaking glasses. Now, do I mean like these kind of glasses? Do I mean like drink glasses? We'll find out later. But number 449 on the previous list was "Come Go With Me" by the Del Vikings. David, let's start with you.
Oh, great. You remember that as original statement at the beginning, like some of them and then some of them not. Well, this is one of those that I personally think it's those that not. You know, I didn't actually kind of click with me. I literally heard this song a good 40 minutes ago and I cannot remember how it goes. I honest to God don't remember it very well. So I don't know if it's like just kind of forgettable or just sounds too similar to other songs of the time. You know, I didn't even know that there was a group called the Del Vikings before like a week ago. But yeah, this doesn't. I remember it had a good sax solo in the middle, like a good sax part there. It was like okay, cool, but it was really repetitive, and it didn't have like something. You know, songs from that time had something. You know, they were repetitive or they kind of like follow a structure and a formula, but they had something adding to that formula. This one is just kind of like not for me. It doesn't do anything like completely different or completely nuts. And again, for my life, I couldn't sync how the melody goes right now. But yeah, this one is particularly not for me.
Brooklyn.
Hey, Mom, can we get the Lollipop song? No, we have the Lollipop song at home. It's good, but I completely agree with what David is saying. Very repetitive. It's classic. It's like classic Motown. But yeah, this song. If someone is like, "Yeah, the song's not great," and I'm like, you have a point.
Pain.
And I
didn't
broke
even know
Andrew.
it was
Congratulations. Yay, me.
So now he's about to lecture us of how this song is an actual masterpiece. Yeah, right. That's how it's going to happen, right?
Damn, David. This is what it's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite songs in this section.
Damn.
I what?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of my favorite songs in this entire section of this list.
With the rest of the songs that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's top 10 at least. Top 10. And we're covering 25 songs, so I think that this song is just instantly memorable. Just from the opening, dum 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 be dooby dum dum.
Oh, that's how it sounds. Yeah, now I remember.
It immediately just it puts me in a time frame of mind like automatically. Like it is a product of its time, but it's a good product of its time. And just like the way that their vocals just layer on top of each other and create this really bouncy, sticky melody on top of doo-wop, almost a cappella kind of vocalization. It just clicks for me on like every single level. Like the first time I heard this song studying for this section, I was like, oh, cool. This is where the doo-wop of the list starts to come in because it's going to come in a lot. And then I kept listening to it, and it just grew, and it just kept growing, and I love this song so much. Oh, I'm in so much pain right now.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Yeah, fine. We're moving on, Mr. Producer Man. Okay. Number 447 on the list last time was Pink Houses by John Cougar Mellencamp. And I'll start off with this one. This is the only John Cougar Mellencamp song on the list. And he didn't even appear on the updated version of the list. Hey guys, Jack and Diane is just sitting like right there.
Yeah.
It's sitting like right there. Like you can pick it up anytime you want now. Not to say that Pink Houses isn't good. It is a really good song. I like it a lot. I like the visualization that he creates in his lyrics. John Cougar Mellencamp is just a hell of a singer. And he's got so much texture in his instrumentation. But if I'm choosing between this and Jack and Diane, I'm picking Jack and Diane 10 times out of 10. Not gonna lie. Not to put this song down, it's not John Cougar Mellencamp's best song, though. David, what are your thoughts on this song?
Is his real middle name, or is kind of like a cool nickname?
It might be. I can't. I'll look that up while you're talking.
Okay, well that cool. I honestly, you gotta understand me on this one. I'm a Zoomer millennial. Don't even know what. I'm come from a really rock pop orientated family from Mexico, so John Mellencamp was always like a name that I remembered hearing, but never actually heard anything about it. Was kind of like in the same vein of artists like I don't know, Peter Frampton or something that I knew they existed but never actually heard. Or there was another one. that I'm Todd Rundgren too. Like I knew they existed, but I didn't never even heard something about it. So I heard this song and I thought it was pretty nice. I enjoyed the melody. I enjoy the whole Americana rock country whatever thing it is. It is really catchy, and I think when I heard it for the first time, I thought two things. Either this is a song that James Gunn could use in one of his projects to make it cool again, or it can be part of like just a cheeky commercial from something. It can work very well because of its catchiness.
Oh, I think Ford used this for like a long time.
So maybe that was why I recall this. But yeah, it is nice. I think I need to listen to more Mellencamp songs because again, I knew it existed. I knew his name, but I never actually listened to it. Steve Winwood is another one. Now that I'm recalling names. So yeah, it is kind of like that part of group. I like this song. I haven't heard of Jack and Diane.
Listen to Jack and Diane. It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great. Yeah.
So I will add it to
and
my
then
list
after that, go listen to the Weird Al parody that he did for The Simpsons called Homer and Marge.
Excellent. I think I actually will like that one more. But well, it's just because of me being a weird person. But yeah, I think that's all I got for this.
Brooklyn, what are your thoughts?
I'm surprised that this one came off of the list, considering that the chorus is "Ain't That America," and this list loves America.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, this song was in my dad's binder of guitar songs to play, so I'm familiar with this. What I like about this song is that it goes into so it's like G, C, and D, but then it throws in an F, which is like if you're playing in G, that's normally a chord that you don't throw in there. Another song that does that really well is the Monkees' "I'm a Believer." It just throws it in to kind of keep it fresh and whatnot. And especially when you get into that bridge where it's John just wailing. Another John Cougar song that I think needs to get recognition is "Cherry Bomb." I think for the arrangement of it as well, like that accordion goes really well, and I think it has one of the best choruses. That's when a spoke was a spoke, and grooving is grooving, and dancing was everything. We were young and we were improving. But yeah, this is cool. I got covered on Glee. I remember that.
Did this really?
This did get covered on Glee.
That has to mean something, right?
Huh. I guess that's probably why it got on. Ew, I hate saying that, but that's possible. All right, moving on to number 446. "Push It" by Salt and Peppa. Brooklyn, let's have you start us off with this one.
So as somebody who has worked in the restaurant industry for over a decade, every time that somebody asks me to push food, this song comes up in my head. So that association is there. I think outside of the intro, though, the song isn't that great. Did Shoop Da Whoop make the list? I forget.
Nope.
Yeah, Shoop Da Whoop is probably the best
song on either list.
No, that sucks. Yeah, Shoop Da Whoop and What a Man are the Salt and Pepper songs that should be on this list. I think the production on this is not that great. It's kind of dated. Like the synth sound is very heavy 80s. But yeah. I think yeah. Sorry, no, I got lost. Yeah. I got lost. But
excuse him.
Wow.
But yeah, push it real good. Push it.
David, what are your thoughts?
Well, this is just an absolute classic of the early hip hop kind of sound of the 80s, of course. So it is a little bit surprising that the newer list had a lot of this kind of era of hip hop. Maybe more conscious on the side, and maybe because it was thrown away because of it, and maybe people thought it was a bit dated, like my friend Brooklyn here. Although I kind of disagree, but I don't understand why it got out. It is just kind of like a really classic song. It is a bit repetitive. I will take it out, but it's like 2 minutes long. So you can't just get too much repetitive with that. You know, oh no, it's 4 minutes. Oh my god, no, yeah, I take that back.
But it
But
feels
anyways,
like 2 minutes.
yeah, but it feels really quick, you know. And I don't know, I disagree with the synths. I really like that line that it's really catchy, you know, and probably my favorite part of the whole song. So it's nice.
Yeah, I actually really like this piece a lot, but it was re-listening to it recently was like really eye-opening for me because I kind of forgot how little Salt and Pepper actually rap on this song. This is not technically a Salt and Pepper song. This is a Spinderella song. Spinderella was their DJ. This is her song. Salt and Pepper are on it, and she was an integral part to Salt and Pepper, but this is a Spinderella song. I actually really like it, the production on this. I like the synth line, but also just like the way that it like the bounce to this is like so nice. It's a good party song. It's like a good barbecue party song. You have it in the back as you're like flipping burgers, everyone's having a good time. You may go down the slip and slide, and suddenly you hear dun, 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 dun. It. I think it's great, personally. So
Is DJ Spinderella the greatest stage name ever? Like that's
Totally.
top 5 for DJs at least.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something else. Number 444, "Love Me Tender" by Elvis Presley. This is okay. We've covered so much better Elvis Presley songs on this series, though. Here's my weird thing about this song. Here's my weird take. Elvis's voice is too low for this song. And I'm someone who's like been like screaming to the high heavens, we don't have enough baritones in like pop music anymore. His voice is just not right for this melody for some reason. It doesn't seem like a good fit. Like it should have been written for someone else, and Elvis just kind of found it and went, "Nope, this is mine now." Brooklyn, what are your thoughts?
I can't help falling in love with you. It's right there. it's right there. It's his best song. Why can't we talk about that song? No, I agree with you. This song is I've said before how songs can be minimal and really effective. This is not one of them. One of the downfalls of Elvis's delivery is that he loves using trills, which would kind of become a main thing in country music, and he gets exposed very hard in this song.
And David, what are your thoughts?
Well, I kind of agree and disagree at the same time, and that's kind of weird. And I don't know how do I feel about it because I actually like this song a lot. It is minimal. Maybe it's too low on the register, you know. But that just opening delivery gets me directly into the song every time, you know. Even though if it's like to Elvis, if you want to call it like that, you know. So yeah, exactly. Now stick to your guns. Do your the things that you do well, you know. And yes, I Can Help Falling in Love. It's better, and I think we can agree that the songs that they pick from the new version are better than this one. Like, or at least in a different, if not better, way more iconic.
At least Suspicious Minds, at minimum.
At least Suspicious Minds, yeah, of course. But I dig this one. I like it.
That's fair enough. It was the first song and only song I ever actually learned to play on guitar. So moving on to number 443, "Beast of Burden" by the Rolling Stones.
Ah, shit, my pizza's burning. God damn it.
What?
Do you want to get that? Brooklyn, just go get your pizza.
Burning pizzas are not a matter of just ignoring, you know.
It's actually Aurora Borealis at this time of day, at this time of night, localized entirely within my kitchen. No, you cannot see it.
Damn.
Damn it. All right, how about you start us off with this one then?
Yeah. It's a great Mick and Keith song. This is the second week in a row that we are talking about a song from this record. I still prefer "Miss You" over it, but I think they just do a really good job of like it's a catchy lick. Let's like the mix delivery in this is great. Trying to remember the. Oh yeah, it's like when he gets into the chorus, it's like, "Am I hard enough? Am I rough enough? Am I ripped enough?" And it's just kind of like it's one of the rare times that you really hear Mick throw emotion into a song, and like in that kind of like yearning and like just striving for something. But yeah, it's timeless. This hasn't aged a bit. Yeah, it's I've given the Rolling Stones a really hard time over this series, and this is one of the ones where it's like, nope, like you guys have earned this song. Like it's just a nice like laid back jam. It's all that it really needs to be.
Honestly, if it was up to me, I would take Tumbling Dice off of the current list and replace it with this. This is one of my favorite Stone songs, and it didn't used to be, but then like 2 days ago or something like that, it came on at work, and everything clicked. Just the guitar line was just so good, and Mick's vocals on this, you're right, they're just like filled with texture and emotion. It's kind of a simple song with a lot of complexities to it, and that's what I really like about it. There's not a lot I can say about this song, but other than I really like this one. David.
Hard agree on that. I would also take Tumbling Dice from the newer list and add this one, because I know Tumbling Dice is kind of like a classic. It's like a nice Stone song, but it's not like a Stone song that we haven't heard like other 3 times at least. At least, you know. And this is actually something new, you know. Like the Stones, they tend to use and do a lot of soul and blues, like in the, you know, Let It Bleed and that kind of eras. They did it, I think, very well. But this one, I don't know, it has something else. It has like this emotion that you said about Mick Jagger. I actually think that, you know, Charlie Watts, you know, rest in peace now, was never like a very. It was never like on my top list drummers for reasons varied. But in this song, he actually delivers a pretty nice beat. The guitar riff is nice. Keith's vocals just completely steals the show, sorry. And yeah, I don't know. This is just that album is really good, and this song is just like a statement on how good it actually is. So yeah, that's my take on this song. Really good.
With that being said, I have to ask the question now. Beast of Burden or Miss You?
That's a nice question. But I think I take maybe it's recency bias, but I think I take Beast of Burden.
Yes!
Kick him off!
Okay, so we're moving on to Mr. Producer Man, bring him back.
Producer Man, you're fighting the good fight.
No, Producer Man, bring him back.
Okay, it's the second time I made.
Yes. All right. So now we move on to the next song, which it
is Alone Again or by the band.
I need to listen to this one again. So, Producer Man, if you can bring back Andrew so that I can mute my mic and remind myself what this song is. Producer Man.
Producer Man.
Oh, is he actually gone?
Gone on a sabbatical.
Oh, he's not. Okay. But yeah.
Fuck you so much. So, Alone Again, or you know what, David? I'm gonna have you start us off with this one because I've got some things to say.
All right. Well, I don't know what kind of things you had to say about this one, but I think that if we talk about pop bands of the 60s that are severely and criminally underrated, Love must be like top 3 of those bands because the work they have done, it's really good. This album, in particular, Forever Changers, is kind of like one of the best 60s albums I think ever made. And I don't know if you have heard it or not, but if you haven't, if just check it out. It is actually pretty damn great. And well, this song opens it up. And what a way to open it up! It is really subdued, really laid back. It's just like a Spanish guitarish sound that is actually pretty catchy. The voice really just on a very low register. I don't know. It's like captivating. Maybe not immediately catchy. Like it doesn't catch you like on the very first listen, maybe. But give it a few tries, and it will be like, oh, okay, you're starting to note the little details, the little instrument, the little sounds, and it really clicks. And to open an album like this is actually pretty intelligent. And if you actually listen to the rest of the record, it makes complete sense that they started off with this one. And lyrically, it's also quite funny, quite fun, quite laid back and relaxed. And that's always it has the line that that people are the most fun or something like that. It reads the lyric and it's kind of like really instantly, really, I don't know, joyful. I don't know. It is a really really good song.
Brooklyn, have you had enough time to?
Yes, I have. I reminded myself of the song, and I'm kicking myself because this is a very Brooklyn song. Love the guitar in it. It's I like that slow, or not the slow, but like that soft kind of touch that it has at times. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to go check this out again.
So where the fuck has this song been? Like, I had never heard of this song until doing this show. Like, I never heard of this song. I've never heard of the song. I've never heard of the band Love. For some reason, at least in America, they have fallen completely off. And I don't understand why after listening to this. Because this song is fucking amazing. The instrumentation in this song is just so rich. Like, just every single instrument is pulling its weight, and it's incredible. Like the little like light Spanish guitar to open up the song, and then the drums kind of kick in, and it picks up a little steam, and the bass, and then those horns. Oh my god, those horns! And the violin just adding that little extra flourish that it needs. It's just a masterpiece of instrumentation. And just like the structure of this song is kind of incredible. Like just the way that it's like pieced together. It's just an amazing piece. And I'm so confused as to why I don't ever hear this song ever, like outside of having to literally search for it. I'm so confused. So thank you, Rolling Stone, for basically making us do this show so I can discover this song. It's fantastic. Let's see if number 441 holds up to this. It is Mustang Sally by Wilson Pickett. Brooklyn, how about you start us off with this one?
Ride, Sally, ride. That's the reason that this song got on the list. And the reason that this song got off the list is because the rest of the song isn't Ride, Sally, Ride. It's okay. I think if it was to stay on the list, it would stay in this section. But if you're if you're like kind of like circling songs out to throw in new ones, this is unfortunately one that you take out.
I was gonna go next. I need time, David.
Yeah, take your time. By the way, just recalling a little bit to the earlier one. Have you ever heard the song "Everybody's Gotta Live"? That's Love. Okay, so if you,
I'll double check that one later.
Yeah, but it is Love. And catchy song. It is really catchy. The chorus is nice. Ride, Sally, ride. Keep on riding, And it actually is like how to explain it. I think it is long enough, to not be completely super repetitive and not also be like completely dragging for no reason. So I think it is like the perfect length for this kind of song. And again, I don't think I have a lot to say other than it's really catchy, and I understand why they picked in the midnight hour over this one in the new list.
I love Wilson Pickett. He's someone that I want to do like a deeper dive into because I only know like a small handful of his stuff, but like everything I've heard from him, I freaking love. This and Land of a Thousand Dances should be on the list proper, in my opinion. His voice is just so good. Like there's so much texture to his voice. Um, the horns in this are just so perfectly placed. And that groove, it's so good. That pocket that he just like falls into, amazing. I'm real mad this episode at you, Brooklyn. Let's move on to something hopefully that we agree on. Hopefully, please God, please. Number 440, Ramble On by Led Zeppelin. I'm gonna go first. This one's cool. I think that the Led Zeppelin songs that we have talked about already are better than this one. So I understand why this one didn't make the list. I like Kashmir better than this. I like Stairway to Heaven better than this. Hell, I would even go as far as to say I like Black Dog and Rock and Roll better than this. I like When the Levee Breaks better than this. But I also really do like this song a lot, but I'm kind of okay with it not being on the list. Oh, good.
Or takes it back.
Good. David, let's go to you next and save someone for last.
Okay, so we're gonna save someone for last because I agree with that statement. All of those songs that you've mentioned, I prefer them over Ramble On. Even like the simple rocky just direct songs, because Ramble On from the Led Zeppelin lore and fan base, I think it's a really, really important song. And I get why. I understand it. I do like the song too. But out of all of the major, like, instantly recognizable Zeppelin songs, this one was kind of like falling into the back line for me a little bit. It is not that it's not that it's not good. I enjoy it, but it's not even the best song on its album. So yeah, sorry, my man. But what do you got to say about that?
This is this is my favorite Led Zeppelin song. Better than Kashmir. Can't necessarily say it's better than Stairway to Heaven, but I still prefer it over that. I love the bass line in this. Like, this is John Paul Jones' best bass line. Whether it's the verse or the chorus, and I think the chorus, he's given so much drive. This also has a little sentimental piece. This was one of the answers to the first jukebox match that I ever wrote, because it talks about, like, it's like one of the few songs that talks about Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. Saying like the darkest depths of Mordor, I think is just a great, like, little nod. But I think Robert Plant's doing really good work in this. I think Jimmy Page, John Bonham has some really good drum work in the chorus. I think it's just like, when you think about Led Zeppelin and all the different pieces, this is where they kind of come together and thrive.
I think I get
all
that.
Right. Yeah, I can agree with you about John Bonham. Like, this is his best work on any of their songs. Let's move on to number 438, which is Ain't That a Shame by Fats Domino. I'm going to start off with this one as well. I friggin' love this song. I think Blueberry Hill might. No, you know what? I think this is a little bit better than Blueberry Hill, and I love Blueberry Hill. Um, it's by like an inch. It's by like an inch. I think I might like this one better because I remember the melody just a little bit better for this one. But Fats Domino was just like a hell of a piano player. And his voice is another one of those just like really uniquely textured ones. That just add a whole lot of character to his lyricism. And it's just catchy as all hell. This one sticks with me like incredibly well. Brooklyn, what about you?
I like and respect this song, but it's too similar to Blueberry Hill for both of them to be on there. It's that same sort of like walking down the streets kind of blues, which is good, but yeah, I just don't think there's enough of a difference to have both of them on here. So I understand that it's off.
And David.
Same. I do really enjoy the piano playing, the really raspy, dense voice. That the texture that you mentioned is like really, really great. I actually disagree. I mean, yes, if you have to pick one or the other, I honestly would also pick this one over Blueberry Hill. Just because of how cool this song is. Like the swagger that really shows up. But I get the pick, and I think I really need to listen to more Fats Domino in my life because it's actually pretty good. And yeah, I just need it.
Yeah, listen to more Fats Domino, and I'm not just talking to you, David. I'm talking to our viewers. Listen to more Fats Domino. Let's move on to number 436, though. Everybody Needs Somebody to Love by Solomon Burke. A song that I think also got remade famous by the Blues Brothers. David, what are your thoughts on this piece?
Yep, I knew it because of the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
But it is quite good. I really like the first part of the song where it's just him like just saying it's nice to be here and just kind of like connecting with the audience of the song really well. Like it's just a thing that a lot of modern artists tend to also do. I remember Recall Arcade Fire and Kendrick Lamar doing that in some songs, so it is actually quite nice and it adds very well to the song. And the hook of it, the hook is everything in this song. Like everybody needs somebody. Yeah. For that thing alone, I think it deserved to be on the list. And I don't know why it's not there. Maybe because I don't know. They decided it was this or the Blues Brothers, and they decided if we pick the Blues Brothers, maybe that's gonna be a bit controversial. So let's just take the mode out. So maybe that's why. But yeah, that's it. Good song.
You know what? You made me realize why I love the opening of this song so much. I couldn't put my finger on why I love him just talking for like a whole minute. But you're right, because he's connecting to the listeners, and the audience, and it makes the song a little bit more personal because of that. Especially since he sounds, energized and like he's having fun and like he's really getting into like the soul of the music. Um, yeah, no, I also really just love this piece. He sounds great. The way he delivers those lines is just like fantastic, and it's just got so much soul. Like this is rich with soul, and I love that. Brooklyn, what are your thoughts on this? Is this some song that you love? That was awful. I'm just gonna.
So if I'm remembering correctly, oh, okay, they got kicked off.
It just dipped.
So if I remember correctly, if you like the song "What I Like About You," I think you'll like this song even better because I think they use the exact same, like it's almost the exact same riff. But yeah, it's great. I'm surprised that it came off, and it could probably be higher.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, I might slip this into like the low 200s. Not gonna lie. You look like you may disagree with me.
Upper 300s. That would be
fair. That's fair. All right, moving on to number 435. One spot above this one was New Year's Day by U2. Brooklyn, let's have you start off.
What is this doing here? This is
Don't.
like
What?
Is this even top 5 U2?
Might be top 10 or
It's
15.
it's like it's not Sunday Bloody Sunday. It's not
True.
Where the Streets Have No Name.
True.
It's not Vertigo. It's not One. It's not. Yeah. No. It's
Still
fine.
haven't found what I'm looking for.
Like if this song is on there for anything, it's for the Edge's riff, and that's it.
Okay. I dig this song. I dig this song a lot. Yes, the Edge's guitar work on this is probably the main thing to come back to. But Bono sounds incredible on this song. Like I can't tell if it's a mixture of just like him as a singer and the production. It could be like it could be the combination. But there's just something about his performance on this song that's utterly fantastic. It's got this almost apocalyptic feel to it. And I really dig that that sound and atmosphere that they're going for. This song rocks. David, what are your thoughts?
I agree. This song rocks. And I'm gonna go maybe a little bit farther than that. I do think that the songs they picked in the new one, maybe the only one that I can understand being on the same level is I still haven't found what I'm looking for. You know?
Yes.
I do prefer New Year's Day over With or Without You, and over One. Maybe I'm like too unbased saying that, but there was we can slander U2 all we want today, but there was a time where they were really, really good, and this particular record is like a proof of that. And yeah, the apocalyptic sound. It is just talking about the line "All is quiet on New Year's Day." Like just opens things very intensely, and the whole song is just like really getting your attention from the get-go. The riff is great. It's really, really post-punkian in a sense too. Like feels like from that era of post-punk. I don't know. I really dig this song. Maybe it's because I really like the album, but this is definitely one of my favorite U2 songs for sure.
Nice. All right. What song was one spot above it at number 434? Okay, stopping there because the coffee party bots. Yeah, it's the song that everyone learns on guitar the first time they pick up a guitar. It's "Smoke on the Water" by Deep Purple, or as my one friend has constantly misheard it for years, "Snow-Covered Water." So first of all, Deep Purple, we do not respect that band as much as we should. Deep Purple is an amazing band. Like they're one of the greatest bands. Not one I constantly go back to, but like whenever I listen to them, good God, they're amazing. And there's a reason that this song is the first one that everyone learns on guitar. That riff is just instantly memorable. You know exactly what song it is when it starts playing. But it's also just like a really greatly written song lyrically. Just vivid imagery created in this song that I don't think people talk about enough. I think we all talk about the guitar line, but no one really talks about the lyrics, which are really, really good. Give the song a listen, guys. It's like 5 minutes, I want to say, but it's worth the 5 minutes. David, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, we do not respect Deep Purple as much as we should, but maybe I do think it's weird that out of all of the songs, I mean, it makes sense that out of all of the Deep Purple songs that we might include in a best of all time list, this should be in. Of course, it's iconic, it's classic, it's really easy to find. But I would argue for Highway Star a little bit more. Maybe I do prefer that song a little bit more.
Good choice.
But yeah, why is not Smoke on the Water on the freaking list, my dudes? Like what happened there? Maybe I would take it on the 400s, but why it's not in here. It's like maybe it's because it's too rocky or too easy. I don't know, but it is like really a very classic, very recognizable song that really deserves respect. And yeah, I think everyone knows it. I don't know what else I can say. The imagery on the lyrics is fantastic, as you say, really vivid. Really, that's so I think that a lot of '70s band did a lot, and Deep Purple just kind of like excelled at that very very well. So yeah, I don't understand this.
Brooklyn, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, take this song out of like the mean kind of state that it's really in. It's great. My favorite thing in it is actually the bass. It's very tight, especially when you get into like Smoke on the Water, Fire in the Sky, and it just kind of like slides up. I think there's some really good production in the verses. When you have the guitar, the bass, the vocals, and like the electric organ that comes in, this has like a really nice sound. Also, Craig Ferguson, his best bit, I think, is something to do with Deep Purple and the song. I forget what it's about exactly, but go check it out. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that is great. It's been a while since I've seen his stand up, but yeah, it's great. All right, let's move on to the youngest song that we're going to be talking about today, "American Idiot" by Green Day. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna let David start because I saw him get real excited for this one.
Yes, my dudes, thank you. Okay, so Green Day is a band that is really close to me because it is actually the first band that I really liked in my life. Like my first record was their Life of This album, and this song really stuck with me ever since, and it's funny because it was like I was like in elementary school singing to anti-Bush lyrics in my free time, so it was like super funny. But I don't know, I think that this song has the argument against it that might not have aged like super well. It's really a product of its time.
There's one line in particular.
Exactly. The use of a word in particular might not be like the best. But I don't know, like maybe it's just my nostalgia talking, or I don't know, but American Idiot is, I have it right here. I cannot show you because I need to stand up and show it, but like it's really one of my favorite records of all time. And the way that it opens with this song like really sets everything from the start, like lets you, and curiously enough, being a rock opera, it doesn't talk a lot about the story in general, but it works a little bit more like an overture. Like, hey, this is the whole theme. This is the world, the scenario where this story is happening, and it's really sounds really teenagery because it does, and it makes sense because of the stories about a teenager. So I need to be more concise with this. I don't know. I just love it, and it really sticks with me. I might be alone on this one, but I take it.
So I think you were right about like a lot of what you said. Especially with it being like an overture. I think that was just like a brilliant comparison. Like, well done. It's not the song I would pick from the album.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, agree. Boulevard of Broken Dreams is right there.
Oh, okay.
Were you gonna pick "Wake Me Up When September Ends"?
No. Wait till we come to me, and I will say that my song.
There's also Letterbomb and Jesus of Suburbia, and
I mean, yeah,
and Holiday, and I'm gonna stop talking.
It's fine. There's a lot of songs from this album you can pick. So I'm definitely okay with this being the song from the album. Because it is a punch in the face. It's just like a giant like rage moment. Like it's an explosion. And it's a really good explosion. People give Green Day way too much shit for using like 3 chords. Hey guys, guess what? Most punk bands do that. So yeah, great song. Not my personal pick that I would have chosen. But happy to see it was at least acknowledged. Brooklyn.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I never knew that people gave Green Day shit for using 3 chords. That's
lot.
That's fucking ridiculous. Because there's a lot of great songs that only use 3 chords. But yeah, this record in general is fucking unreal when you think about all the songs. I love Boulevard of Broken Dreams. I love American Idiot. I think I go with Holiday because I love the drum work and the bridge in that especially. But this one, like David was talking about that explosion, and it's there. Like it's there. You feel it, especially when they get into the solo. That opening riff grabs you right away. I would love in some time to see Jesus of Suburbia on the list, because I think even though that isn't my favorite song, it's the best one. Just because of all the ideas that it has. But yeah, I had to debate Cody for this record. It was this record versus the Black Parade for the best album of the 2000s. And I lost, but I also argued that I should have won.
I don't remember if I was the host.
No, this was this was a long time ago when the Earth was green and there were more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen. It was back when Jukebox Dance Off was on Take 3. If that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Kind of old.
Kind of old.
Yeah.
So moving on to one spot above it at number 431, William. It Was Really Nothing by the Smiths. I wish I had contacted Bill Carriola earlier, basically just saying, "Hey, can you scream about how much you hate Morrissey?" Great, thanks.
Don't worry, fam. I got you there.
Okay, guess I'm gonna be alone on this one. I actually kind of really like this one. It might be my favorite song of the Smiths that I've heard. Even though that one, what was that?
You're not that alone.
Okay, good. Even though the one song that I can't remember with that really, really cool guitar is great, but this is only like 2.5 minutes. But it's also just like arguably the catchiest Smith song that I've heard. And Morrissey actually sounds really good on this one. I don't know. There's not really much to say. I think that the love triangle storyline is really well crafted. Solid song. I understand why it's not on the list, but solid song. Brooklyn.
Yeah, we're going back to the theme of bands that I love, but lead singers I can't fucking stand. And yeah, it sucks because this song sounds great. Everything that you love about indie rock is there. I think Morrissey works in some sections. I think there's some rhythmic delivery that he kind of excels at, but especially when you get into the bridge, there's some falsetto stuff that he does, and it takes you out of the mood that song had been building up to. When you mentioned the song was 2.5 minutes, I was like, all right, that kind of makes sense. And I think the more that I listen to the Smiths, the more that I realize that like that's where they kind of fit in. Like those little pop kind of thoughts, and they work.
Yeah, and David.
Yeah, I understand why this is not on the list, because the 2 songs that they pick to be in the newer makes just so much more sense. There's A Light That Never Goes Out and How Soon Is Now. Completely, 2 of the best ones. This is actually one of the catchiest ones, and also really loved by Smiths fans. And yeah, everything that you said is just, I'm just gonna say it again. The delivery is great. It's quick. It's catchy. The hook again. Like the way Morrissey delivers that Willie. It's just like amazing. And yeah, just a nifty little tight, great, catchy song that is everything jangle pop is.
Yeah. Fun fact. The person who this is supposedly about,
William Shatner.
Man, that would be a wild story.
It was really nothing.
William Mackenzie. Apparently
you
released.
mean like former Canadian Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King?
Oh my God, Brooklyn.
Hey, it wasn't the Prime Minister or something?
We're not talking about Canadian Prime Ministers, damn it. Wrote a response song called Stephen, You're Really Something.
Nice.
I'm going to check that out after the show's over. All right, number 430, one more above this, is Blue Suede Shoes by Elvis Presley. Double Elvis today. David, what are your thoughts on this?
Talking about short songs, this I think is the shortest one that we're having here in the whole section.
I think so.
It's good. It's rocky Elvis, rock and roll Elvis. You don't need to ask for much more. It's catchy, it's instant. Is really like a direct hit, and I think I really enjoy this song because of all of those things. But again, as we mentioned before, I think the other Elvis songs that are actually in the list are a little bit better and a little bit more recognizable. Sorry, but this has all of those catchy things, all of those elements of early rock and roll, and maybe that's why it's so good. But yeah, other songs are better. I think that's just the resume on that.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, I like this song, even if you even with Elvis Presley attached to it. But the more that as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is just Johnny Be Good, but literally taken down half a step. And Johnny Be Good is Johnny Be Good. I wish we had Bowman on here so that he could defend Elvis Presley and why it's the hit at the seniors' home, and that's where Elvis will live. Elvis will live in seniors' homes for another probably 50 years, and then people will forget about him.
He is living in a senior home in Florida right now, right?
God fucking damn it! Who do you have a tinfoil hat on right now, or?
Listen here, you Illuminati scum.
I thought it was ingenious or something.
Next thing you're gonna try and tell me is that the Earth is round.
This is okay. It's like one of those cover songs that I guess people don't realize is a cover, but I can kind of tell by listening to it. The instrumentation, his band is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this one, actually. The guitar and the drums, especially in this song, are what really carry this.
Thankfully, this was the last time that a solo artist was carried by his backing band, and that this never happened ever again by any musical artist ever.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Whew, we dodged bullets there. All right, let's move on to number 429, Piano Man by Billy Joel. It shows up.
The Joel.
The Joel. So, just so everyone knows ahead of time, this is the only Billy Joel song that we will be covering in this series, which is a shame because Piano Man might not even make my top 5 personally. It's close to the top 10. It's probably sitting at 10 or 9 for me. But it's still fucking Piano Man. It's still an incredible piece. The lyricism is absolutely fantastic. You can smell the bar that he's in. And Billy just sounds absolutely amazing. Especially during the delivery of the line and the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer.
As they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar, I'd say, "Man, what are you doing here?"
It's so good. The harmonica and the piano, it's an amazing piece. David, what are your thoughts?
I agree. I just really don't know. I just really don't understand why wouldn't they put this. I'm think I did my research. The only song in the newer list is "Scenes from an Italian Restaurant," and I think that is kind of like enhanced Piano Man to a degree,
On the other
Um,
list.
but I don't see why they wouldn't put the two of them. I mean, maybe because one is the enhanced version of the other, maybe. But in terms of being an iconic piece of music, a recognizable piece of music, and an overall really nice song, this one is right there. Again, it's like smoke in the water. I would take it in the 400s, and that's fine. But put it on the damn list. Like, what are you doing taking it out? That's just like not conceivable in any universe.
Yeah. Brooklyn.
Yeah, this song holds a special spot in my heart. When we did the first like Billy Joel playlist, this was the number 0, where it's just like this is objectively his most popular song. It has one of my favorite lines in music ever. They're sharing a drink called loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. I understand why this came off, though. I think the lyrics kind of feel old in a way, but I think that's also kind of like, because when you get into the verse of like, oh my God, Paul is a real estate novelist. And then he's like talking with Deivid, who's still in the Navy, and just kind of like the taboo nature of that, where it's like talking about David Bowie, and is it homophobic? Is it not? But other than that, it's great. Like, I love whenever the song comes on in the live at Shea Stadium, because it's just everybody wailing this song, and it's like I kind of wish that this was the song for the Cheers, like the Cheers theme, because it kind of has that same vibe.
I'm not chuckling because you're wrong. I'm chuckling because.
But yeah, I'm gonna harness my inner Cody. If this is the only Billy Joel song we're talking about, Vienna.
Yes.
Vienna's right there.
Yeah.
One of the best songs ever.
Yeah. I would also personally like to throw the Downeaster Alexa on there, but I know I'm alone on that.
No. If we're doing like Billy Joel deep cuts, absolutely.
Yeah. Vienna's the deepest, like the greatest Billy Joel deep cut ever, though. It was never released as a single, so technically it's the deep cut. All right, moving on though. We got 3 songs left, everyone. Number 428, It's Your Thing by the Isley Brothers. Another band that I think that we just don't talk about enough. Do you know how many people were influenced by the Isley Brothers? Do you know how many bands sampled or covered the Isley Brothers? It's a lot, people.
That's why I'm here, so that I can learn more about music.
Yeah. Thank you, Brooklyn, for giving us the Jim Gaffigan audience thoughts. Did he just really say that? But yeah, since I started going off on that tangent, I guess I will be going first. I think a lot of people think that this was made by Earth, Wind, and Fire, and yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire did a version of this. Not an Earth, Wind, and Fire song, folks. The groove in this is so good. That guitar lick, just amazing. And just like, god damn, their voices are just so perfect. Like, I am so jealous of these guys because they can freaking sing. It's just like a tight, groovy, real upbeat piece that, like, if it comes on in your car or if you're just like on a walk on your playlist, you cannot help but to at least bob your head a little bit. It's amazing. I love the song. Sad to see it's no longer on the actual list. Brooklyn, your thoughts?
I would love to go back in time and hear this song before it was ever on like every car insurance commercial, like life insurance commercial. I'm sure this was on a commercial for like Viagra or Cialis. But yeah, it sucks because that one riff is the majority of the song, and that one riff is what's used for commercials. What I will say though is that I think the production does a really good job in terms of like spacing everything out, because it starts off with like the piano, and then the bass comes in, and then right after that the horns come in, and I think they cycle through that well enough where it has that kind of motion to it. I have not listened to any Isley Brothers. I did I couldn't name you another one. So I should probably go listen to them more.
Let me double check something. Let's see here.
Shout.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Are you checking if this was on a Cialis commercial?
No. We covered Shouts Part 1 and 2 on.
Right. Oh my God, I'm a dumbass. No, yeah, Shouts here. Yeah, no, Shouts there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need this there.
Yeah. David though.
Yeah, I do agree. This song slaps, y'all. This song is like just an amazing delivery on groove. It's just like the best thing ever. And similar to the Billy Joel thought that I had later, I don't know why we can have both. The Isley Brothers only have Shout in the newer list, which is cool. It's like probably the greatest song or the song that they are known the most, at least. And the most iconic one. It has iconic status, but this one also is kind of iconic. You know, as you say, it's just like in a ton of commercials. So you have heard it at least once, and I don't know. It's just like a cool vibe song. It's a cool. I was walking the street the other day, and this song popped up because I was listening to the playlist, and I just felt like the coolest man alive during those 3 minutes of just look. This song is like for strutting, you know, for cool strutting, and it's like, yeah, man. I feel powerful. I feel good. And then it stopped and my reality came back. But those were like the 3 best minutes of that day, particularly, you know? So
yeah,
pretty good song.
Oh, amazing. Brooklyn, I do want to bring up one more song by them that you know a part of.
Okay.
It's called Footsteps in the Dark, Parts 1 and 2.
And they really like those Part 1, 2 stuff.
They did, yeah, a lot. It's the song that's sampled for "It Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the Isley Brothers, look more into them, people. All right, moving on to number 421, dipping down a couple of spots. This is where the drops start to be a little bit more significant. Is Young Blood by the Coasters. Brooklyn, let's start with you.
Of the songs that we talk about, this is one that I kind of forgot about. Let me listen to it for a second to see if there's anything that I need to say, but
honestly, with that being said, I'm kind of the same way. But the reason is because I think that it's a good song, but there's nothing in it that sticks with me. Like, it's fine for its like doo-wop era, blending in with like, you know, the late 50s rock and roll kind of sound, but there's nothing in this song that sticks with me. Not the instrumentation, not the vocals, not the lyrics. I remember thinking that it was good, but not above some of the songs that we've talked about today. David, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'm on the same boat. I do want to say that the vocal delivery on this song, I thought it was actually kind of nice. I did like it. Yeah. You know, like the call and response kind of thing of the singers was actually pretty nice. But yeah, and this was the song when I listened to the whole list that I realized, man, they took a lot of old stuff from the list, you know. And I think that
just keep watching the show. We'll get to them.
So I think it clicked to me. It's like that kind of song, you know. In the first iteration of this list, it was like filled with a lot of old classics that you might have heard once, or that your uncle might know, or something like that. And this is one of those. I think it was cool. I enjoyed it, but I get why it's not in here, and I get like this good bunch. This whole section is filled with a lot of those.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Now that I gave myself a chance to kind of re-listen to it, it's good. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but there isn't anything in particular that's kind of like making it stand out with everything else that was kind of coming out at the time.
Yeah. I think we're all on the same page with this one then. All right, let's move on to the last song of this segment, "The Girl Can't Help It" by Little Richard. David, let's have you start off with this one.
All right. It is catchy. It is good. I do like quite a few Little Richard songs. A personal issue that I have with him and maybe with other artists of the era is that their songs sound too similar, and maybe that's the case with some of them. But this one in particular, I think it kind of stands out. I checked the new list and they picked like two or three songs. Of course, Tutti Frutti was there, and the other one I don't remember which one it was.
It was Tutti Frutti and Long Tall Sally.
Okay, well, so it makes complete sense that they go with those two, right? This one, it's fine, but I don't know. I honestly not a big Richard fan, but I don't know if it's even like one of his most famous songs that he ever did. So for that reason alone, I think it's fine if it's not in the list. I think I'm fine with the songs that they picked. This one is cool, but I think I need to re-listen to it quite a few more times to just kind of grab it completely and correctly.
Brooklyn.
So when the song came on in the car,
I bet I know exactly where you're going.
I immediately was like, "Oh, there was a Fergie song on this list," and they were like, "Psych." Yeah. That Fergie song kind of killed this one inadvertently, because now that's all that I think about. And just like the electric poppy kind of piano in it. But yeah, we have Tutti Frutti, and we have the other one that I definitely didn't forget about. And yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was sampled on that song. Now it makes sense.
I actually friggin' love this song. Like, I think I'm finding that I'm just like a giant Little Richard fan. But I love the back and forth between the vocals of just like the interplay of him and then his backing vocal and then him and then his backing vocal. And some of these lyrics, man, they're just so descriptive, but it's just so cheeky and simple. It's about how beautiful his girl is and how hot she is, to the point where she can make toast by looking at bread. Like, come on. Like, how are you gonna hate on that? That's just like really cute, cheesy lyrics. It's so much fun. These are fun lyrics. We're having a good time here. We are laughing. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. This one's really close to possibly being my overall best pick. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't decided yet, though.
Okay.
But with that, we are done with this section of the list. So, we are going to go through our 3 questions. Our first question being, which one of these songs should have never made the list to even begin with? I will go first because I have my answer already, and it's Youngblood by the Coasters. Not a bad song at all by any means, but it's just how it was higher than things like Piano Man and Twist and things like that. I'm just a little confused as to what makes this song so good, better than those. Brooklyn.
William, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with Morrissey. Morrissey is getting in their own way of this song, and it's a shame for the rest of the band.
And David, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, dude, but it's Come Go With Me. Yeah, sorry for that.
I'm gonna be sick.
If you want to kick me a third time, I will take it. But it's
Not
just.
my powers.
But anyways, I think I understand it, but just on the basis of I don't remember it, even if I played it like 3 times now, it's because it's why I picked this one.
All right. Well, which of these songs should be put back on the official list? I'm going to start with Brooklyn this time.
Heroin needs to be back on the list.
David?
I do agree with Heroin and Smoke on the Water and Piano Man.
Man, I think Heroin might be the right choice. It's between that or Alone Again, or but if we're gonna go just with like craftsmanship, yeah, it's Heroin. I'm not gonna go back to that song often, but Heroin's the best composed piece in general.
Plus the influence.
Yeah. Which leads us to our last question. Is that your favorite song from this section? And it's not my favorite song from this section, actually. I think that my favorite song from this section might be, oh God, am I actually going to say that? Yeah, I'm going to say it. My favorite song from this section is The Girl Can't Help It by Little Richard.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Honestly, that song is just so fun. It is just a gas. It's swell. Brooklyn.
You know what? I don't have to decide. I'm gonna make it a tie. Heroin and Ramble On.
What a cop out.
I can't decide between either one, so I'm picking both.
Boo! Okay, hold on. Let me find Ramble On. There it is. And David.
Bar can't help it, but Pick the Girl can help it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, sorry. I think I'm just gonna go with my safe choice, and I think Heroin is my favorite, but my heart says American Idiot because I'm still a teenager inside, and I just love that album and that song. So yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Apparently, James Gandolfini was a giant Green Day fan, so
James Gandolfini was based, man.
Yeah. All right. So let me just bring up the song that we all kind of agreed was the best of the songs this episode, Heroin by the Velvet Underground. If you have the mindset and the time, please give the song a listen.
Yeah. If I could recommend a way to kind of digest this song, sit down and just turn everything off.
Agreed.
It will flow in your blood and to your head.
Okay. Woo! Getting a little dicey here. With that, I want to thank David Jimenez for joining us today. David, I hope you had a good time with us.
I did. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for taking me in. This was a nice list. It was a nice time. And yeah, thanks for taking me in this project. I really liked it.
David, you're one of the jukebox OGs, so you hold a special place in my heart. Anytime that, yeah.
For sure, man. Whatever you need, whatever you want.
So yes, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciated it. We would love to have you back on when we do any upcoming projects that we may be doing. But Brooklyn, we did it. We got through another episode.
Yeah, I'm excited because you're talking about how these songs take bigger dips, so that it'll be a little more drastic of a conversation, I think, as opposed to just songs that were in the 400s and we're do we make the list now? Because I think next week it'll be a question of, these shouldn't have made the list, and what the fuck were they doing sub 300 possibly?
Right, we got a lot of doo-wop coming, people.
Okay.
Doo-wop.
But for David Jimenez, for Brooklyn Vale, and for myself, Andrew James Barr, thank you all for watching, and keep on rocking.